I hate the fact that I paid $9 for a ticket to this. Based on the Smurfs comics by Peyo, the new Smurfs movie follows Smurfette and her friends going to the real world for the third time to save Papa Smurf from being kidnapped by Rosamel, Gargamel's brother. Also, Papa Smurf has a brother for some reason. I saw Smurfs 2025 in theaters with very low expectations while having a tiny grain of optimism. And what do I have to say about it? This movie made me feel blue. And by that, I mean this movie is blue garbage. Allow me to explain why this movie deserves to be squashed, meaning why this movie is insufferable. One, for starters, this movie repeats the same storyline from the first two live action Smurfs movies that were made by Sony Pictures Animation, which were released between 2011 and 2013. As I stated earlier, the Smurfs go to the real world for the third time to rescue Papa Smurf from being kidnapped by an evil wizard. Also, the side plot where the Smurfs meet Papa's brother, Ken, feels like a Dollar General version of the main idea from Trolls Band Together. You know, the sibling reunion trope. Second, normally I love stylized animation since Spider-Verse has influenced animation studios to step out of their comfort zones by experimenting with new animation styles for their movies, but the animation in Smurfs is a sad attempt at replicating the original Smurfs comics' art style. It also lacks expression because every time the characters talk, their mouths barely move. 3. Rihanna is painfully miscast as Smurfette. While I have no beef with Rihanna personally, her quote unquote voice performance as Smurfette did not do anything to impress me. Her voice as Smurfette sounds uninteresting, unenthusiastic, and monotone, which goes against Smurfette as a kind hearted and joyful character. Kindly, I don't think we should cast mainstream pop singers to voice Smurfette in more Smurf movies anymore. Instead, we should cast real actresses that can, well, act. Amy Poehler would have been a better choice to play Smurfette. 4. The characters are one-dimensional and mediocre at best. No Name Smurf is a generic, uneventful character who is nothing more than a fish out of water archetype. Ken, Papa Smurf's brother, is also a boring character and an absolute jerk. Smurfette feels like she is written as a plot device for the movie, which is disheartening because she has a more likable character in Smurfs The Lost Village. 5. The humor is unfunny. The humor does not just contain nauseating amounts of Smurf puns, but it also contains poor attempts at either being hip and cool with today's generation or being comedic. Instances include lines such as, "No, that's what I'd call a banger," said by Papa Smurf, Sonific Smurf backing himself up like beep, 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 and a scene at the end of the following action where No Name Smurf swears in a PG rated movie despite being censored. Very out of pocket. 6. Both Rosamel and Gargamel are equally badly written villains. Rosamel is not just unlikable, but he also steals Gargamel's position to kidnap Smurfs and destroy Smurf Village. Gargamel is not any better because somehow he goes through a redemption arc in the climax, only for him to revert to his old ways by plotting new plans to kidnap Smurfs in the mid-credits scene. 7. The movie's message is utterly repetitive. There is absolutely nothing new about the message in this movie, which is nothing but a find your true self and always choose kindness message, and that's it. 8. False advertising. In the main theatrical poster for Smurfs, the Smurfs are riding a motorcycle while being chased by Rosamel and Gargamel in Paris, France. But in the actual movie, the Smurfs didn't do that, and they were only in Paris for like 20 minutes. 9. Poor direction by Chris Miller, who happens to be the director of not one, but two DreamWorks movies, which are Shrek the Third and Puss in Boots. For clarification, the original Puss in Boots from 2011, not the cinematic masterpiece known as Puss in Boots: The Last Wish from 2022. And 10. In the opening sequence before the Smurfs dance to the song titled Everything Goes with Blue by Tyla, it disrespects the Hanna-Barbera Smurf series theme song by Papa Smurf interrupting the Smurf crowd singing the La 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 song before playing his music. If I had a nickel every time Hollywood disrespects Hanna-Barbera's legacy, I would have 15 cents. This is a pretty bad movie and all, but there are some positives I need to bring up. John Goodman as Papa Smurf is a smart casting choice, and it's kind of nice to see Rihanna return to voice an animated character in an animated movie after Tip from Home. However, it does not excuse her from being miscast. Second, some songs can be fun, like the movie's theme song titled Higher Love and Anyone. I'm not saying they're well written, but rather enjoyable. Lastly, the interdimensional door scene, while distracting from its glaring problems, is quite wonderful. But then again, these are the only things I like from the movie, and that is it. Overall, Smurfs 2025 made me feel blue. Not literally, but figuratively. To some degree, I wanted to like this movie as much as Smurfs The Lost Village, but now that I've seen it, it has let me down terribly. This movie does not understand Smurfs, nor do the Smurfs understand us, the audience. You are better off watching a better movie with better music, like K-pop Demon Hunters, along with Smurfs The Lost Village and the Smurfs TV series by Hanna-Barbera. In conclusion, Paramount Animation is dead, and it's all those Blue Trolls wannabes' fault. I give Smurfs 2025 a 3.5 out of 10. Thanks for watching my rant on Smurfs 2025. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.